My man of society, it is your host with the most, Shadow Look, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and or subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. That's how you help my channel get into the algorithm. How do you appreciate you go ahead and do that? Now, talking about these fucking liars. But I was asked by one of my subscribers, how do you know when somebody's lying on the internet, right? And that if somebody is lying and, conning people out there, like, what's the big deal, everyone's adults right here, so if they get conned, that's on them. And why do people worry so much? And they should just worry about themselves. And the thing is that this is very true, but if someone is taking advantage of somebody else, right, or is coming on here lying, then you can't be mad at the person that's looking to expose the truth or telling the truth. You can only be mad at the liar. You can only be mad at the lie. You can never be mad at the truth. And that's just how it works. You get what I'm saying? You can't be mad when somebody's telling the truth. You can only be mad at the liar for trying to spread lies. Because lies aren't appreciated, in anything in life, right? Like when somebody tries to pass off a true story as real events, right? And try to make a movie or a book, you see that, you can't do that, right? Fabricate stuff and try to pass it off as true events, because now you're tricking individuals for their money. If you were to come online or if you were to make a movie or something like that and say that this is all fiction, this is not real, you know what I mean? This is just, stories and tales. Nobody has an issue because you're letting people know, the truth. These aren't real events, but these are just some tales. Nobody has a problem with that. People read fictional content all the damn time. Comic books, books in themselves, movies, you know what I mean? But they're not trying to pass them off as real events or real things that happen. The problem is that on the internet or on YouTube, right, as individuals try to pass off folklore as real events. They try to pass off their stories like true events when, everyone can see that they're lies. You know what I mean? You can, it's worse when people keep repeating that these are true events or real content. So you can't be mad when now individuals come on here and expose the truth or point out the lies. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how society works. You can only be mad at the liar, can't be mad at the person telling the truth. I get it. There's some liars that are good con artists that have charisma and everything like that. But just because they have these, talents, of charisma or charm, doesn't make their behavior, acceptable or, that people, should just leave them alone. That's just not how society works. If they were just to come and tell the truth off the bat, then these issues wouldn't be popping up. But they pop up because they keep trying to lie to the people. Now, you can tell when individuals are lying. Con artists, it's hard for them to control their narcissism. It's hard for them to control their egos. You get what I'm saying? So they may say stuff like, they don't mean to disrespect, or that, they let everybody be, or that they're not here to hate on nobody. But then, 10 minutes into their story, you'll immediately start hearing them start hating or insulting or dissing individuals. Even though they started off by saying that they're not here to do that, then they automatically start doing that. But they can't see it because they already expressed to the people, at least, letting them know that they're not here to do that. Making them to believe that they're tricking individuals, that individuals won't be able to see now their con games or won't be able to see their tactics, right? Like once they start hating that, because they said it in the beginning, people will dismiss, everything else that they got to say, because especially an individual that's looking to defend themselves, right? Like less because they feel like their ego has taken a hit, right? And if there's one thing that we understand is that a narcissist, a person that's egotistical, does not like that, right? So they'll look any way to build up their ego. Now, there is narcissism out here or sociopaths that are intelligent enough to know that by them coming on here and to boast and brag, people will see their true colors, right? So, they're smart enough to try to trick individuals, right? But the problem with a video, instead of actually being done on person, is people could go and rewatch, people's videos. They could see their body language, their face expressions. People think that society is not up to game with their antics, but people are already. People are well schooled and intelligent enough to understand how con artists and narcissists and con men want to display their trickery online, right? They could be on there and be like, I have respect for this individual. I don't come on here to, downplay him. But then automatically they'll be like, oh, yeah, that motherfucker was a weenie. And start saying how this is nice, right? And it's like, yeah, You get what I mean? So these are, tactics that, they use So people won't feel bad now trying to critique them because they have already stated that in the beginning that automatically everything that comes out after that falls in line to them respecting but just speaking the truth, which that's not how it's worked. You can speak the truth without disrespecting somebody, you know but individuals, since they look to boost up their pride again, right, or their, I guess, their status, they go about it that way, right, because they want to be seen as tough guys or intelligent or smart business or whatever, for whatever reason they're in it for, right. Most on here do it to make themselves seem like tough guys, right, like they really are with the business, right. But then if you look at the track record, it shows the opposite, right. Like, let's say if they have paperwork on themselves, or if there's been events where they have already ranked it or backed down and stuff like that, right. So that already shows their true colors. Like someone who's ranked it and snitched already, then you already know that they're not out there handling business like they claim that they are, right, because of these events. And let's say even if they're younger, let's say if they were youngsters back then, even more, right, if they weren't willing to handle business when they were younger, what makes you think they're handling business now? You know what I mean? Like, it shows that they were never with the function since the beginning, you know and that's just how it works, right? Because people are more braver and are more likely to do stuff in their younger years than their older years, right? Because in your older years you develop common sense, right? And now you start thinking about this and that, right? So people are more hesitant than when they're youngsters, and that's just human behavior. That's just how humans are built, right? It doesn't work like the opposite unless they have some kind of something going on in their brain, right? Maybe a tumor or something like that, right? Where disrupts the brain and how it actually works, right? So individuals could try to pass it off as facts, or but I mean, that's just not how human behavior works. So why try to lie that you're about the function if you don't care, or if you're above that, if you're looking to better yourself, then why keep going back to these topics and keep trying to clean up or explain the behavior here to make yourself look better? If you don't care about that kind of stuff, then that makes no sense. Then that only shows you do care about that stuff, but you're trying to pass it off as a lie, and that's how you can start telling when people are lying, when you look in to details like that, right? Because all of these details play a factor when you're looking to find the truth in individuals when they're speaking. Because somebody with a mouth, they can say whatever they want. I could say I'm an astronaut or whatever, you know what I mean? But if I could say, anybody out there could say whatever they want, right? But how they're telling the story, right, and the words that they use and how they use them, what they say, is it to tell if they're telling the truth or if they're lying, right? But by, how they choose to go about the matter, right? If they choose to now start insulting or boosting themselves up, then, okay, then they clearly do care about that kind of stuff and look into, instead of, just explaining that you just don't care about stuff like that in people's opinions, right? But people look to build up on it, right? Or try to clean it up. And that's how you can tell that people do care about that kind of stuff. And that's how you can tell when people are lying. You know what I mean? Because in conversations, that's just how it works. People express themselves, with words, right? It's the way that they use the words, how they use them, which words they choose to use, that will tell you about an individual and if they're being sincere or not. And that's pretty much how you can tell if somebody's, being honest or lying. And, you got to dismiss the charm and your biased opinion. Like, if you think somebody's cool, you have to dismiss that when you're looking for the answer, because you're not looking to be persuaded, right? Because that's going to cloud your judgment when you're looking to actually look for the truth in individuals. But yeah, overall, that's just, you just got to look for little small details in there. You actually got to pay attention to people's stories when they're talking, right? And, because people will try to divert you with charms or catchphrases and stuff like that, right? But when you're looking for the truth, that you will find it. But I'm just saying, Shadow, we out.